One Piece, The 10 Worst Crimes of the Donquixote Family, ranked. The Donquixote family were notoriously powerful pirates and the main antagonists of the Dressrosa arc. These are the 10 most evil things they did. The Donquixote family were an organization of notorious pirates led by Doflamingo. Together, they were the first true challenges that the Straw Hats faced in the second half of the One Piece story and had been established well before their official arc. Although they may have been defeated through the combined efforts of Luffy and his friends, the pirates didn't go down without leaving their mark on Dressrosa's denizens. Through identifying their worst actions, we can better understand the depths of their depravity and how profoundly they impacted their environment. 10. Senor Pink's lying destroyed Russian's life. Russian brought joy to Senor Pink's life due to her limitless optimism and glowing smile. Although she liked almost everything, her condemnation of pirates inclined Pink to keep his business from her until he was finally exposed. Overcome with hysteria, Russian stormed off into atrocious weather and was rendered vegetative by an avalanche. Deeply remorseful and apologetic for her condition, Pink dressed like a baby so that she would continue to smile in the hospital. At that point, his dignity was a low price to pay for her happiness. 9. Giala tried to torture Man Sherry into submission. After her humiliating defeat by Nami, Giala desperately needed to prove her worth to her comrades. Once they had been injured in the battle against Luffy's Grand Fleet, she attempted to force Man Sherry to heal them. Predictably, the Tontada princess was reluctant since she knew that they were despicable villains. In order to encourage her, Giala began torturing her in order to force the regenerative tears from her eyes. Luckily, Leo and his friends intervened before the mad artist's plan could be fully put into action. 8. Diamante lied about giving away the Flame fruit. The Flame fruit was used in order to bait powerful combatants from around the world into participating in Doflamingo's arena. Diamante led the festivities while Doflamingo pursued other projects, such as apprehending Trafalgar Law. What the contestants didn't know was failure would see them transformed into toy slaves for the family's smuggling business. Worse yet, Diamante didn't actually intend to give the Flame fruit away. When Sabo actually retrieved it from a massive fish, the villain attempted to go back on his word and would have stolen the prize if given the chance. 7. Virgo betrayed his own subordinates at Punk Hazard. Virgo was a tremendous asset to Caesar Clown during the battle for Punk Hazard. His ability to shroud himself in armament hockey rendered him virtually indestructible, as proven through his victory over Sanji. There was also a moral aspect in his actions. Virgo's presence at Clown's side indicated his betrayal of the G5. His marine comrades were so demoralized by the idea that he turned his back on them that they refused to believe it and even presumed that the man they saw was actually an imposter. 6. Pika almost murdered a massive number of people with his transformation. Although Pika managed to survive Zoro's relentless attacks, he quickly realized that the battle wasn't leaning in his favor. To circumvent this, he utilized his devil fruit to its fullest potential and attained the size of an entire mountain. At Doflamingo's command, he marched toward King Riku and would have murdered him if not for the combined efforts of Zoro and Elizabello. His actions put more than his intended target at risk, it endangered countless innocent people and devastated the nation itself. 5. Diamante murdered Scarlet during Doflamingo's takeover. During Doflamingo's takeover of Dressrosa, the family thought it was prudent to wipe out as many potential threats as possible. Since Scarlet had royal blood, Diamante took it upon himself personally to cut her down. This devastated both Rebecca and Kairos, given how much they had come to love her. Tragically, the latter couldn't even feel her warmth with her dying breaths since he had been transformed into a toy. It was particularly heartbreaking because due to the nature of his curse, Scarlet couldn't even remember him as her husband. 4. Treble capitalized on Doflamingo's dark potential. Treble earned his position as a top executive of the Donquixote family after Doflamingo narrowly escaped a public execution at the hands of raging commoners. The snot villain recognized his latent evil and built upon it. After meeting Doflamingo face to face, he offered him power in the form of a devil fruit and pistol. The young man would use the former to become the most terrifying warlord ever to serve the world government and the latter to murder his own father in an appalling gesture of revenge. 3. Doflamingo forced King Riku to slaughter his own people. In order to successfully usurp the Dressrosa throne, Doflamingo knew that he had to destroy the current king's reputation first. To do so, he blackmailed him into collecting an enormous amount of money from his own citizens and refused to let him explain why. The warlord had no interest in honoring his deal once Riku met its terms. With his ransom obtained, Doflamingo took control of Riku's body and forced him to butcher his own subjects. Terrified and demoralized, the man could only watch helplessly at his own actions and quietly beg for death. 2. Sugar turned a massive portion of the population into toy slaves. Sugar was instrumental in Doflamingo's plan since she created toy slaves to do his bidding. By the peak of her master's reign, a considerable portion of the population had been altered. The most sinister aspect of Sugar's scheme was that she essentially wanted to work her thralls to death. Although the toys made for excellent laborers since they were tireless, their tin bodies would eventually break down. At that point, they would simply be harvested for scrap without ever having the chance to reunite with their loved ones again. 1. Doflamingo attempted to slaughter an entire country with the bird cage. The bird cage was a dome made of thread that Doflamingo intended to shut slowly. Its goal was to massacre every last citizen of Dressrosa, thereby keeping his sinister actions and partnership with Kaido a secret. Such a plan would involve an obscene amount of death, with no conceivable way out even for the members of Doflamingo's own family. Luckily, Luffy's allies were able to stall it while he dealt with and defeated the heavenly demon personally. However, the nation was still in ruins after the dust had settled.